Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Paul. Morning, viewers.
Morning.
Morning. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome, Bloody. Welcome to the show which is called
Sunday Chat.
It Indeed Is. It's Sunday morning for you.
It's Saturday for us.
It is. So, Paul.
You're feeling a little bit flat, aren't you?
Am I?
Are you?
I don't know. I haven't said anything about feeling flat.
Oh, yeah, maybe just a bit jaded then. Yeah.
Well, I've had a lot of sleep.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of sleep. I've been sleeping really well. But I don't know, I can't say it's been particularly busy this week for me, really.
Well, you've had a few sort of anxious hours and things.
Have I?
Yeah.
What?
The car going to the garage.
Well, I wasn't that anxious.
No, but
that.
you were a bit. So.
Anyway, we're coming on to that later, Paul. Don't jump the gun. Anyway, Saturday
getting
morning.
Married, isn't it? Jumping the gun.
No, that's a shotgun wedding, isn't it?
Oh, shotgun wedding, right? Yeah.
Shotgun wedding.
Shotgun, yeah, shot and gone. Yeah.
Paul, don't make things up. Yeah, Saturday morning. The weather this morning is very beautiful. It's been a beautiful week. And then we had rain yesterday.
Yes.
It was a deluge yesterday, and unexpectedly so. I didn't think it was going to rain all day. I had stuff to do.
And you didn't do it?
I did do some.
Right.
I did my aircon cleansing routine for the car.
Did you use crystals for that?
No, it wasn't a spiritual cleansing, Paul.
Oh,
it was
right.
a chemical cleansing. I don't normally use chemicals, strong chemicals. I don't, really. I mean, I do use bleach in the loo, because it's the only thing that gets it really clean. But I had read that very often bacteria can harbour in the vents. And it's good to do this sort of cleansing bomb. I think they call it a bomb.
Did it go bang?
Well, you put everything on, all the engine and things, and the aircon. You put it to recirculate, and you set this bomb off in the car, and it goes through all of the vents, and it cleanses. It gets rid of any bacteria, because you don't want to be breathing in mould in your car. And at the end of the day, it's all about gas exchange and all of that, isn't it, aircon?
Is it?
Yeah, it cools the air and using refrigerants and things like that and stuff.
There we are.
Yeah.
You heard it here.
Heard it.
Heard it.
So yes, so it rained yesterday, but I still managed to do that.
But do you then keep all the windows open?
Yeah, you air the car.
Right, okay.
And I'm going to do that again today.
And you put all the things on again and they blow through?
Yeah, you just blow it all through and air
Right.
it.
Oh, that's quite good then.
And it's supposed to freshen up. It wasn't that bad in terms of musty smells.
No.
There was a slight mustiness, but the aircon has been recharged at the garage now, so it's nice and cold.
In fact, you have been charged for the air conditioner being charged.
Oh, Paul. That's hysterical. Yeah, so blah, 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 skipping all over the place. Yeah, so the weather again is beautiful, and it was a hot start to the week. Hot.
It was
hot and sticky and humid and blazing hot sunshine.
I was out doing my naked allotmenteering because it was so warm.
That's why you're so brown now, Paul.
Yeah.
You just go brown like that. I go from sort of blue to white and then to pink.
Oh, I thought you were going to say and then back to blue.
Well, I kind of do because it all washes off. I've never been one of those people that can tan.
You're tanned in that photo of you in Greece, though.
I can get a tan, but then I get back home and
And it
within a week
goes.
it washes off.
I think mine tends to do that. I think at the end of the
Doesn't.
season it goes.
It doesn't. You stay
Doesn't it?
lovely and leathery.
Yes.
Anyway, let's get on with the show because it's only a quick one this week. Got stuff to do today. I'm washing the furniture covers at the moment.
Oh yeah, very odd thing happened yesterday.
Wasn't very
So-
odd, was it really?
I came back from the plot, and Richard had said nothing about washing the covers of the sofa.
Why would I?
Well, no, you.
It's my
you
domain.
wouldn't, it's
It's my domain.
And I came in, and the teal, you call it teal, don't
Get
you?
on with it,
The teal
Paul.
sofas is having its cover washed, and it's got a different. It's sort of calico underneath, and it's got a sort of throw on it. And when I came in the door, I thought, oh, Richard's got a new sofa. When did that arrive?
Oh, really?
I did. It took me about 2 or 3 seconds to realise that you'd taken the cover off.
Do you think I wouldn't have mentioned if I was buying a new sofa?
Well, it's your domain.
I would have mentioned that.
Yeah, you would have done. Which is why I thought it was so odd.
So this one's being done today, this red sofa.
Right.
I just throw them in the washing machine.
Not the sofa, the covers. Sofa's too big.
I throw them in the washing machine. Now, the thing to remember when washing sofa covers is put it on 30.
Right.
Don't put it on 40 or 60. God, no, not on 60. Because you just won't get them back on.
Will they shrink?
Yeah.
Would I shrink?
You don't want shrinkage in your sofa covers. No. So 30 degrees should be fine. Thank you. That's household tip of the week. So, weather, blah, blah, blah. Planet Vegetaria, Facebook group by Richard and Paul. Richard and Paul since 2017. That's contractual. So, Planet Vegetaria, welcome to new members. And just a word to say, if you are wishing to join Planet Vegetaria, you need to answer the questions on your application. Because if you don't answer the questions, there's been a few recently who just appear to have thought that they'd just be accepted. No, it's a private group. Answer the questions, please. Otherwise you won't get
la
in.
question.
No.
Les questions.
La question.
Les.
La.
Well, there's several.
Les questions.
Les questions.
So yes, thank you, just a note. And also, we want to say a big welcome to new subscribers here on YouTube.
Yeah.
And on Instagram.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And on Planet Vegetaria.
Thank you.
And on Twitter.
Twitter as well. I don't use Twitter.
No, we don't really tweet a lot. No, I don't.
Anyway,
It's inbuilt with me.
let's move on. A thank you to Sharon.
Yes, thank you,
Thank you, Sharon, for sending us the gigantic... What are they? Giant Japanese peppers.
Giant Japanese peppers.
Now, Paul, I believe they're going to have to wait until next season.
Yeah, it's too late.
It's too late, isn't it, for peppers?
It's too late for them now. So I've put them into the
Storage.
schedule for next year because I've already started my 21-22 growing year thing. So I put them in for that.
Oh, good.
And I did look them up on Google, and I saw Chinese giant and I saw Japanese colourful or something. So if you do have any other information about them, do let me know. But I assume they're just big peppers.
Lovely.
Because the word giant, you see, that sort of infers that they're big.
Good. So yes, news this week. I did take the car to the garage, the local garage.
But you were a bit anxious about that.
Well, I'm always anxious, and the thing is, and I'm being truthful here, and girls will appreciate this. You know how
That's very sexist.
women... Well, this is the whole point.
Oh, right.
Some women experience sexism at garages when they're taking the car in, you know. As
Garages.
though... Garage, Paul. That's the posh way of saying it. Thank you. Because, you know, if women show any sign of knowing what they're talking about, and there are plenty of women who know what they're talking about in terms of vehicles, they kind of get sort of treated with that kind of attitude. And I've experienced that as a gay man. So I kind of find that I have to try and act straight at a garage.
Do you?
Yeah. Lest that I get treated in that way. And I didn't experience that. The person who dealt with me was very pleasant, and actually I kind of demonstrated that I did know a little bit about what I was doing, because I did inform them that I changed the pollen filter. And he went, "Oh right, you've changed it." I said, "Yes, you don't need to do that." So it was a pleasant experience, but I was rather disappointed. Where was Adonis? Where was Zeus? Where was Thor? No. There was Steve, Alan and Reggie.
But they're all lovely.
And Reggie was about 70. No, that wasn't their names, really. I'm just joking.
But
yes,
can we see a bit of your pretending to be straight?
No, I can't do it when there's a camera pointed at me. No, I just try not to be overly flamboyant.
Did you wear a scarf?
No, I just went dressed in jeans and a t-shirt, but I didn't wear my new hat.
Yes, I was going to say, did you wear your new hat?
No, I didn't. I didn't want to look like Joan Collins walking in there.
He's got a new hat.
I have got a new hat. It's just a big hat.
Its brim comes out to here.
It's lovely.
It's not. What's it? It's a super wide
Yeah,
brim.
it's an extra wide brim.
No, it's super wide.
I decided I wasn't going to wear the old hat because somebody else has got one of those hats.
Yeah.
And I decided not to wear it any longer.
Not one person.
I'm going to burn it. Anyway, let's move on. Yes, so the garage experience was fine. The AC is done, it's nice and cold in the car now, which is great, especially for London driving, for city driving. That's what you need. Because it's also, the thing is, it's called an air conditioner for a reason.
Because it conditions the air.
It cleans the air. So it's actually better to use aircon than it is to have the windows wound down.
Oh, especially
because the windows wound down also creates extra drag, which causes you to use more fuel. And actually, I found out that aircon does take a little bit more fuel, but not as much as you think.
Oh, right. I thought it took more than it did, and now I find out that it doesn't take as much as I thought it did.
No, it doesn't.
So it takes less than I thought it did.
That's right. So in other news this week as well...
I had an experience of that, though, a couple of weeks ago, when I was talking to some workmen that were doing some work at the allotment, and I asked them, you know, how they were doing, did they need any help? And I sort of got a bit, you know, there was sort of clearly a distance. And then I used the word mate, which I never use. I said, "Oh, thanks very much, mate." And immediately, the two workmen, their attitude to me changed completely. It was like, "Oh, right, okay, yeah, well, yeah, we're going to be doing this, and it's like, oh, great."
Alexa, stop. Sorry about that.
But we did get to the end of my bit. But I think that's interesting. You know, sometimes you do by taking on somebody else's traits, as long as you're not being offensive.
But it's about...
you communicate better.
It's about communication. It's about expected communication as well. And that's the thing that annoys me, because you can't... you can't, as a gay man, as a flamboyant gay man, there is an expectation that if you walk into the world of the straight man, and I'm trying not to insult all straight men, because there are lots of very nice straight men who are allies of the LGBTQIA plus community. So, I'm not wishing to alienate anybody, but there is a sector of society where there are straight men who do not understand anything to do with the LGBTQIA plus community at all, especially the trans community. I've seen it online. I've seen the hate that people throw at people. So you're wary. I'm wary of that, even though I'm 6'4", and tower over most people. I'm still wary of that, and that there is what's the word? There's a discrepancy. There's a gap in the communication, whatever you call it.
Metric.
Yeah, and it's sometimes difficult to navigate. Not so much in London, I don't think, although certain parts of London may be. But yeah, it's something that you're aware of. So I don't walk in and do a musical number, let's put it that way. I don't walk into that straight domain. I mean, there could be gay garages, I suppose.
I think you'll find
or
that
gay engineers and all of that.
But
they're not here in our community. So I don't walk in and do cabaret.
But you don't know that, do you? I mean, they're not going to be, necessarily, if they want to, they can, but not necessarily will they be wearing their overalls and a pink tutu.
What I'm saying is that discrimination still exists.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. And that's discrimination against women, against gay people, against trans people, blah, blah, blah. People of colour, it still exists in society. And
we're all people of colour.
You know what I'm saying?
I know, but that's a really odd term I think people are using. It's odd.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, we are all people of colour. But you know what I'm saying? Black communities, Asian communities, discrimination is still in the world. And it's something to be aware of. And I guess if you can protect yourself as a gay man from perhaps ridicule behind your back.
Oh God, I've had plenty of that in my workplace.
But you know what I mean? You can kind of sense it sometimes. And what I'm saying is I didn't sense it at the garage.
No.
But there was an anxiety around that experience because I've had it before. Anyway, let's move on. God. I mean, this is not, can we just say, this is not a pity party.
Oh, no.
About that. It's just something that exists in society. And actually, the way in which I would deal with it would be to simply walk away. It's not worth dealing with. It's not worth having the hassle, I walk away from that kind of thing. I turn my back on it because you put yourself at risk.
And for many years,
Really?
when we did have our Xantia, we were taking the car to another guy who had a garage nearby who was now moved because they developed that. And there was never any of that from him, was there, either?
Well, he was French.
He was, yeah.
Says it all. Anyway, let's move on now. So, in more further news this week, we've both had our second COVID jab. Yay! And again, Paul has had absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. I have a very sore arm still.
Still?
Yeah, still. It's still sore. And I felt really tired.
Yeah.
Really tired.
You went to sleep in the afternoon for a good few hours, didn't you?
I kind of looked in the mirror and I actually looked tired. So I think I've had a mild side effect to the second jab. And can I just say, before anybody starts, with your COVID stuff. Don't bother,
No.
because your comments will get deleted.
Yeah.
So please don't bother.
Yeah.
You know we're on the side of science. Thank you very much. I've also ordered a pack of lateral flow tests as well, so we can test.
What fun!
I know. Again, science.
So those are ones you have to test regularly, are they?
The ones you put up your nose and your tonsils.
Right, well that's all of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be interesting.
Fun.
I have done that and sent it off.
You don't send it off.
No, I have done, as part of a trial thing, I've done the nose thing and broken it off, put it in the tube,
Blah,
sent
blah,
it
blah.
off.
So, Paul, what have we watched on television this week, Paul? It's been a bumper week for film this week, and there's been a few flops.
Yeah.
A few flops.
Should we talk about the flops first?
Yeah, let's get them out of the way.
Men in Black International.
God. What a load of incoherent, poorly edited, strangely put together,
Confusing.
Very hard to watch, and wasn't even saved by Emma Thompson.
No, I did quite like her bit about when she said that she looked good in black and her little,
Yeah,
you
that
know.
was 2 seconds.
Yeah. But we switched it off. It didn't really know what it was, I don't think. And I'm sure that the time span, it has one of those things where it takes you back 20 years and brings you forward 20 years. And I'm sure that the text that told you what was happening was incorrect.
But it didn't, it had nobody that was leading it.
No.
I mean, you know, in the original Men in Black, you've got Will Smith.
Yeah.
And you've got his character. I mean, I'm not a Will Smith fan per se, but you've got his character, you've got great lines being delivered, and you've got a rhythm. He has a rhythm to his performance.
Yeah.
There was no star quality. I don't even know who that girl is.
I actually thought she was possibly the best thing in it.
Yeah, but I don't know who she is.
No, I don't know who she is. But
is she a comedic performer? No, she isn't. He was just useless. Liam Neeson was Liam Neeson, as he is in everything. You know. Emma Thompson was, well, a character, but Emma Thompson. I don't think none of them were able to get their teeth into the characters. And it was kind of overshadowed, as usual, but as these films are very often, by special
CGI.
Special effects.
Yeah.
And yes, they were good, but it was, I don't know.
And again, there's those moments where you've got sort of, you know, chases and bits of thrill and things like that. And there was just, you didn't really care what was going to happen.
No, so we switched that off.
Yeah.
Other failures. Life. With Hilary Swank.
And
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal. And another one. I mean, you sort of knew within maybe 10 or 15 minutes what was going to happen.
Yeah.
It was either going to be scenario 1 ending or scenario 2 ending. And we gave up. And in fact, it was my scenario 2 ending, because I looked up in the synopsis what the ending was. And
was I right?
No,
oh,
it
right,
was.
okay.
It was. It's.
I mean, you know, at the end of the day, if you're on a spaceship and there's an alien growing on the spaceship that's already displayed some killer abilities, you kind of know what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
And it was kind of like the same old sci-fi alien killer story. So we abandoned that, which was... the other one we abandoned was Prospect.
Oh,
God, that was the most boring film I've ever seen in my life.
I think it started well, and then it just went downhill, and gave up on it.
Just ridiculous. I mean, who spends their time watching these films, waiting for them to get better.
Yeah, and
We-
then you
we
get to the
don't.
end and go, oh no,
We
that's
don't
got
do
better.
that. It gets 10 to 15 minutes, and if it's not done anything good in that length of time, it gets switched off and we do something else. You know, it's
One that we did enjoy was The Woman in the Window.
Oh, The Woman in the Window. Yes, we did enjoy that, Paul.
We did, however,
The jumps weren't as good as they could have been.
no, it's
Were
a
they?
thriller. It's a thriller,
Yeah.
and the jumps aren't as good as they could have been. And we knew within 10 or 15
Yeah, we
minutes
did.
scenario 1 ending or scenario 2 ending. And in fact, it was
What are these scenario 1 and 2.
Well, it's like it's either going to end with that character being the person or that character being the person. That's what I mean. Scenario 1,
Ooh.
it goes this way. Scenario 2,
preferably
it
it's
goes that
scenario
way.
3,
Well, yeah.
where you don't
when
guess
you
who
don't
it
guess
is.
it. Absolutely.
Preferably. But it
Preferably.
was a good thriller.
It was.
And it was well performed.
It was.
And the premise is really good, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's a few. I mean, there's a few creaky moments in it.
Yeah.
With they're in this person's house or the woman's house, and the police are there, and suddenly the neighbours are there, and it would be like, no, you wouldn't. You'd have someone stopping the
Anyway.
neighbours coming in.
That's The Woman in the Window with Amy
Dudar,
Adams,
Gary Oldman,
and Julianne Moore.
and Julianne Moore.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
film. Recommended.
Yeah.
Lovely. On Netflix.
On
Was it
Netflix.
Netflix?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. The other one we abandoned was a television show called Murder They Hope, which is sort of a comedy. Johnny Vegas, same kind of cast as they've done before.
Yeah.
Could have been good, actually.
Apart from one thing.
The music. Completely inappropriate music that was coming in at inappropriate times.
Well, it was just permanently there.
It was covering the dialogue. It wasn't the right mood of music for that kind of show.
No.
It didn't add to the tension. It was just wrong.
It was a
And actually,
distraction.
yeah, it was distracting from the acting performances
Yeah.
because you were just like, what's this music?
Yeah.
It's wrong. Can you not see? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. If the producers are watching, which they aren't, sort it out.
I do know one of the producers.
Well, tell them.
I have.
Email them.
I have.
Good.
So, yes.
Drag Race Down Under we continued with.
We did.
Have we got a favourite?
I
It's a bit of-
like.
Go on.
I like. I've forgotten who
Electroshock?
I like. Electroshock.
Yeah, so do I, but I think she's come under quite a lot of fire from the other queens. I have found out of all the Drag Race, this has been the bitchiest, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the bitchiness seems real.
Real.
Rather than fun bitchiness, you know?
I wonder if it's because of that rivalry between New Zealand and Australia that we sort of get in Guernsey and Jersey as well.
I don't know, but it's kind of unfair. And yes, Electroshock is maybe not as polished as some of the other queens, but at least she's kind of quite honest
Yeah, and interesting.
and interesting and real. I don't know. It's been a very strange season, and it's certainly not been my favourite. And I love Australians. I don't know about New Zealanders because I don't know too many of them, but Australian comedy we love. That's sort of,
Simon and Ines.
but I don't know them.
Well, I live with them for...
Yeah, but they're not people that I would sort of
And
go,
they did go back to New Zealand
they're
quite
typical
quickly
New Zealanders.
after they met you.
I don't know about...
I don't think they are typical.
What I'm saying is I don't know about New Zealand humour.
Yeah.
And it
yeah.
must have its own brand of humour. Australian we're familiar with because we follow a few Australian comics. So, do you know what I mean? I don't know. But yeah, very strange season. Can't say it's my favourite, but we are looking forward to All Stars Season 6.
If we can see it.
But I'm sure we'll be able
I'm sure
to.
we'll see it at some point. It's on Paramount in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
The other show that we have been watching, we continue to watch, and we haven't mentioned it for quite a few weeks, is The Sewing Bee.
Yeah, well, I've got it on the list.
Have you? Oh, we didn't have it last week. So we watched it again this week, and I sort of sit down at the beginning of that programme thinking, come on, Paul, get into Joe Lycett. There must be something there that people are really enjoying that you're missing. And every time it's sort of like, no.
The jokes just don't land for us at all.
Not at all.
And I don't know.
They all seem...
I just don't find him funny.
The thing with a lot of comedy like that is it's obviously staged. So they did a scene, didn't they? A Vroom Vroom scenes from Star Wars with him and and the lightsabers and Yoda, and it just didn't work. It was terrible, absolutely terrible. And you just thought, you know what? Cut all of that and cut the programme down to 45 minutes. Because this is just rubbish.
I just hope they get rid of him for the next one. I just don't find him funny. He's just not funny to me.
Yeah, but clearly is to other people.
Yeah,
you know, because he wouldn't be doing
whatever.
Third or fourth series, whatever he's doing. You know, but I think it's sort of getting to the stage with Sewing Bee that if there isn't a presenter change, I think I will actually just switch off next time.
Yeah,
I don't think I think the presenting style is now getting too intertwined with the actual crafting that's going on. And I don't really like that.
Anywho, Paul. Silence! That's it now.
Is that it?
You wanted to talk about how busy you are down at the plot, but you've done a video about that.
I have.
Haven't you?
I have, which will be up tomorrow, a week at the plot, obviously. But it has been a busy week.
Well, it's that busy time now, isn't it? Where you're getting everything in.
It's because May was so cold and odd. I just didn't get certain things going. I mean, I even found that I had our Sarpo Mira potatoes. I found them, our seed potatoes, in the polytunnel. I thought I'd planted them in tubs. But I found them, so I found a space for them and they went in a few days ago.
Were they okay?
Yeah, they're absolutely fine.
Oh, God.
Which just goes to show the quality of the potatoes, of the company that we got the potatoes from, which I was really pleased with.
Good.
So, and our early potatoes, which we did plant on St. Patrick's Day, are about to flower, or some of them are, so that's quite
What does that mean, Paul?
That means that when something is going to flower, it means that a little sort of pretty little thing opens up. And that's what we call a flower.
What does it mean in terms of the development of the fruit?
It hopefully means that
vegetable.
tubers are going to get...
What are potatoes, Paul?
They're tubers.
Tubers, that's it.
Not as in the sort of... Not like that. Underground tubers. That's what they are.
Good.
Just for clarification.
And you also did a tomatothon, didn't you?
Yeah, I
which
did.
you called a tomarathon.
Tomarathon, I called it.
God. It's a tomatothon. Not a tomorrowthon.
Tomarathon.
No, tomatothon.
Tomatothon.
Which one do you think it should have been? A tomarathon?
Tomarathon.
Or a tomatothon? God, it's like a telethon.
Yeah, it mostly should have
Really?
been. But it wasn't. It wasn't.
God.
So I got 77 tomatoes in.
70 bloody 7. Oh. 77?
77.
How are we going to eat all those tomatoes?
Well, I think we had 82 last year.
Well, we do eat a lot on the go, don't we?
Yeah,
so to
we
speak,
do.
fresh from
We
the
do.
vine.
We do.
But what we tend to do, because somebody did ask this question the other day, and I did answer it actually, because you hadn't.
I thought I answered it.
No, I answered it.
Oh.
What we tend to do is we tend to roast them and freeze them, or turn them into sauces and then freeze them.
Yeah,
generally we freeze them, don't we, Paul?
We tend to do that, but
In the freezer.
what we also do is we. Oh, that's what you mean when you say we roast them. Yeah, we roast them in slices, and then we can.
Slices.
Yeah, in wedges.
Wedges.
And then they
Wedges
dry
size.
out a bit, and then we freeze them on a tray.
Yes.
And then take the tray out, leave it for 5 minutes, and then just peel these little wedges of tomato off, and then bag them up.
The reason we do that is because they then stay separate in the bag.
Yeah.
If you put them all into a bag and then freeze that, they will just clump together, and you can't take out just what you need.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good tip. There's a video on that somewhere, Paul, isn't there?
There is a video on that.
You could look for it.
Well, you could put a link for it.
Don't know what it's called.
Well, all you need to do is put roast in this channel thing, and it'll come up, I'm sure.
And we've also got a lovely roast tomato sauce too, or pasta sauce.
It
famous
is
now, world famous. The recipe was given to us by my friend Nina.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nina.
Yeah, and being copied all over the world.
Yes,
now.
by many people.
Yeah.
Emulated.
I was thinking the other day how wonderful it would be to have a chest freezer, to be able to do lots of. What was I doing? I was doing
I
something.
don't like chest freezers. I always think of dead bodies.
Well, that's why I'd like a chest freezer. Then I can stay close to you should you depart before me.
I don't want to be preserved.
If you're dead, it doesn't matter what you want.
I want to be laid out in a forest and pecked by the birds.
Oh yeah, that can be done. Yeah, we'll just drive out into the Chilterns and pop you there. Yeah.
Right, that's it. Silence. That's it for this week. Just a quick one, because we've got to get out there and do things. Get out.
What are you going to be doing?
I've got to clean the inside of the car windows. I've got to give them their weekly clean to keep it fresh and nice. And
how many times has it been cleaned this week so far?
Well, it's been cleaned externally once.
Twice.
No, once.
You cleaned it on Sunday again.
No, I did clean it again. You're right, Paul. Well, no, I had to because it was dusty. A dust had settled from the Sahara.
And did you find out which bird species had done it?
Oh, and a bird had done its doo-doo.
Isn't that fascinating?
Well, no, it had to be clean. You've got to clean it. You can't leave bird doo-doo on the car because it marks it.
Will it sort of burn through like
aliens
acid?
Yeah, that's right. And I also repaired a little chip of rust as well. 2 chips of rust. There were 2 little dots on the bonnet. I dotted them with paint.
Was it
Like
paint?
nail varnish.
I was going to say, is it differently coloured paint or is it the right coloured
No,
paint?
the right coloured paint,
Oh,
1E7.
I imagine that there would be like little pink bits at the front, like nail varnish or something.
We're going now. Say goodbye.
Have you done the tyres? Because you were going to check the compression.
I'm going to
thing.
do that today.
Gosh, it's
Tyre
exciting.
check, oil check, everything check. Check, check, check. Yeah.
We were hoping to go to the Chilterns yesterday, but of course
Too
the
wet.
rain.
It was too wet.
Yeah. we
So
didn't.
anyway, we're saying goodbye now, Paul. Shush.
What am I doing today?
I don't know, don't care, but let's move on and say goodbye. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Take care of yourselves. See you very soon for more loveliness.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.